Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning at Scaling Care for a Changing World, Technology and the Human Connection. I'm Jessie Lynn Farigo, the Managing Director of Global Partnerships for the International Federation on Aging based in Toronto, Canada. And I'm joined here today with 3 leaders in the space, and we'll talk about our changing care environment and how AI relates to that today. As we know, societies are rethinking what care means. Populations are aging, workforces are stretched, and expectations for independence and dignity are increasing. Technology can help us respond, not by replacing human care, but by extending and enhancing it. So we'll hear more about that today. We'll start with small 3-minute presentations from each of our panelists, and then we'll get into a group discussion. So first I'd like to welcome Jill Mulder, CEO and founder of Genus Care in the Netherlands. They're developing integrated telecare systems that link real-time sensor data with personalized support and family engagement. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you very much. A mouthful. Great to be here. And we all know about the double aging effect, where there's more elderly people and less people to take care of them. But what we also see that in order to solve this, we really need 3 things, right? We need technology to help bridge the gap, bridge the distance between the carers and the users. We need the family to be part of that new care system, because there's simply not enough hands available, and family and friends are going to be the first point of call. And 3, we're going to need predictive modeling to reduce the amount of unplanned care. And what we did at Genus Care is we built a device that sits with the elderly user, that connects family and friends, connects the caretaker, connects the alarm center, has a range of peripherals around it that can personal alarm or monitor the home. So the need of the patient can really be aligned with the product that we serve. And we just grow on the features that are delivered, meaning that for the client, for the patient, they have the same thing that they can use, but also for the care system that needs to change so often, so much. They have a single platform that they can use, but it just gets enhanced with new features that the clients can use. So we really help with this transition of the client from earlier age to all the need that they need. And part of what we do is that we do this by our own device and our own platforms, but we integrate with the existing platforms. So we don't want to change what's happening, but we really want to enhance what's happening. And this is why it's exciting also to be here in France. We're talking a lot to how to integrate with existing platforms, how we can get medical data to the clients in a simple and easy way, how we can transfer alerts to the right people, so the systems can stay in place, but everything around the client gets upgraded with these Genus Care.
So it sounds like one of your focuses is around ease of adoption for the user and making this something that enhances their life and doesn't feel intrusive.
Correct. And by making sure that the social care circle, family and friends, are part of this enablement, we really use the technology to get the family and friends as part of this services or of the care. And so most of the alarm calls now go straight to the alarm center, and then, okay, maybe we call the family. What we say is, no, if something is happening, family is the first point of call, and then afterwards it gets transferred to the professional. There's a 5-step plan in the Netherlands, what's really popular. So if you need help, first you need to take care of it yourself. Then you're going to get technology-enabled care. Then you're going to get family. Then you get asked for social support. And only at the last level, you're going to get professional support. And only if we follow that route, we are able to manage the future of the care for the future.
That's very interesting. Thanks, Jill. We'll come back to you. I'd next like to introduce Iñaki Bartolomé, CEO of Kwido in Spain, which combines cognitive stimulation, monitoring, and analytics to improve home-based aging. So Iñaki, can you tell me more about Kwido?
Sure. First of all, thanks for inviting us to this event. We work in the B2B sector, and we always try to focus with our customers in the families and the informal caregivers. They are basic for the care at home. So what we try to do is to take all the geriatric knowledge of an institution, the support, the monitoring, and deliver it digitally at home. And how? We have different apps. We are an ecosystem, so we have an application which is a geriatric assessment tool for the end users, but also even for the caregivers. So we analyze which are the risks and problems of the person, and then we create a personalized care plan with daily activities. That's the first part, maybe the first part. Then we have the virtual center, which is the heart of the system, which is in the end an accessible app for the families to be running, for example, on a tablet. Then they have the daily activities, but also the resources. So if you have to do anything today, maybe it's linked with a video, maybe it's linked with a document, with an app, an external app. We also integrate other apps. So you have everything that you need to do on the tablet, for example, or on a computer. But you also have messages to be in contact with the caregivers, the professional ones in the institution, and even for video calls or group video calls. So we also have one module for cognitive stimulation based on serious games, so it can be part of those interventions. And we have another module for using sensors and artificial intelligence to monitor the activity of people that live alone. So again, this could be a standalone solution or combined. So with this suite, we try to design services to care at home with quality. One example that is really, I think it's a good example just to have an idea. 4 years ago, the Biscay region in Spain designed a center. They had a budget for 50 people in the day center. And they decided that they wanted to narrow it to 25 people, but use that technology to care for people at home with the families. And now it's reached 400 families at home in the area. So that's the revolution that I think is important. With the same budget, we are scaling up the care at home, professional care brought from the center to the houses. That's one example of what we are doing in Kwido in this case.
Excellent. So addressing the explosive growth in people who are aging and hopefully keeping them in their homes longer. That sounds excellent. Moving on to our very last panelist, we've got Aurélien, Sales Director at Legrand Care France, part of the Legrand Group advancing connected care and assistive living technologies that make homes safer and smarter for people of all ages. So let's hear a bit more about that.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Hello, everyone. I'm Aurélien Poisson, General Manager of Legrand Care. So, Legrand is for a long time on helping people staying at home in a very secure way. So, we are an industrial group from France, and going from something called like domotique or something that make home automatic to help people staying at home. We are working for now more than 15 years on social care and creating link between people at home and caregivers, and to help them staying safe and long time at home. And this is really where we are. And going from this social care, we are now working on connected health, because of course, kind of disease has evolved. It's more chronic disease that has to be taken, we have to take in charge. So we have to help people at home being also cured. So from the care, we are going more on the cure. And for an industrial group like we are, we have two ways to go there, mainly. So firstly, it's innovation. We have 5% of our sales that is used for R&D in the group, and then we do acquisition to go faster on the new market or to develop position in different geographies. So yeah, this is where we are and where we are going. And from this social care, we have more than 3 million people connected in Europe, and the idea is to go further on helping them having the best solutions to stay at home in a secure way and the longer times they can.
So what do you think is driving sort of the primary need at this stage for this type of connected care? Is it workforce shortages? Is it social connection? Is it safety? What is it that's a primary driver? Or is it kind of a combination of all of those things?
I think safety, I think, is the first one. We want a very reliable connection from the elderly people at home and the people that could help them at the first time, at a moment that they need it. And so for me, it's the first thing. And we have to be very good and the best to answer that, firstly. And then, of course, we have to prevent it and to have solutions to be before the accident and the emergency. So, yeah, that's what I could say.
Iñaki, what would you say is driving this?
Well, I always say I am pessimistic, to be honest. So we have many. I'm not going to be talking about the demographic trends. That's clear. But I think we have many other problems. We are not attracting talent, not only to this sector, but to any sector. Maybe we are in a continent right now that is in economic decline, so maybe we are not attractive. And this sector is not attractive. Let's be honest about it. People now like working, I don't know, from home, flexibility, going anywhere to work remotely. So it's hard work. So it's going to be really hard to find talented people to work in this sector. And the families are changing. Now you are always talking about social connections, the families, the sons, the daughters. But now many people decide not to marry or not to have children. So what's going to happen in the very next future? People completely alone. So how are you going to be dealing with this? You need motivation. You need projects in your life. How are you going to have it being alone? That's the society we are leading to. And I think that we only have one ally. Let's see how to work with it. And it's technology, let's be honest.
So safety so far, workforce shortages, and social connection or connection generally. Jill, what would you say?
Well, I think safety first, right? Somebody told me once. So if you want to have people live longer at home, they need to feel safe and comfortable. But it's not just for the patient or client himself. It's also for the family and friends. They also need to feel that piece of confidence. So once that tick is in the box, I think the social part of care is undermined. And loneliness, as well put, is a big issue. People who feel lonely are more prone to sickness. They have higher uptake in hospitals. So helping with the sense of loneliness is an essential part of what we need to do in the future. And you're right, we're living further apart, we don't have as many children, but people also want to help. Yeah, they want to have a purpose. Many elderly people want to support each other. And if we can give them a platform where they can help each other, give them the tools to be useful, they have a purpose. And if we can give purpose to people, helping each other, having children to being able to help their parents, it gives a lot of self-worth and the idea about what you want to do. So
it sounds like your views and Iñaki's views differ slightly, but there are some commonalities. Building on what you've said, I think people think of, when they think of AI, they think of things like fall alerts and remote monitoring. But what are some other applications for this type of technology that are more proactive, maybe for mental health or physical health that you can think of, or other applications the audience may not have thought of?
When I think about AI, most of people think about, ChatGPT and let's create some text and this is amazing. What AI can do really well is find patterns that we can't see. And when it comes to finding patterns, you first need data. Yeah. So everybody talks about AI, but very few people talk about, how are we going to feed all the AI models of the future? So getting reliable data around users to feed into the AI model, I think it's going to be the essential part of getting AI and doing predictive modeling regarding falling, people don't drink enough, or many incidents, or even loneliness can be measured if you have the right data pool. So what we're working on is getting a real reliable data set for ourselves, but we're also happy to share the data sets with an AI engine or a partner like yourself and say, you know what, we are really good at finding this particular issue, something that you do. So let's make an agreement. We share the right data, secure, safe, ISO certified, and so on, for you then to say, but we know that this person might be prone to falling. Let's get some messages going, let's get the family involved, and let's feed that back into the loop. And I think this is really where we are right now. Yeah, everybody's got the dream about 5 years, 10 years, but what we need to do right now is create a data pool, and I think that's essential.
And Iñaki, what other applications have you seen or have you thought of that might be applicable, that people might not have heard of?
Yes, again, I agree. We need data. That's the first part for using artificial intelligence. But of course, artificial intelligence is good, for example, for prevention, for analyzing the trends. So, for example, we are working, for example, with sensors. So we learn about the routines of the person, and we send, let's say, alerts very soon about possible cognitive impairment, because there are changes in the behavior, or even in the cognitive stimulation. The person is playing, we know how that person plays, and then we say maybe there's a decline in the memory capacity. So with the data, the artificial intelligence is very good to analyze and prevent or detect something strange is happening. And it's also really good for communication. I am not saying that the artificial intelligence is going to be the person you're talking to, but it's good for communication, so you can ask that artificial intelligence, even ask questions about the care every day. Now I need to do this, how? And then the artificial intelligence makes the translation, looks for the information, if it's well trained in the accurate data, and gives you the answer to know what to do. So I think those parts right now are really interesting and could be used in many cases.
So I'm going to change directions a little bit. With every innovation comes responsibility. So in your opinion, Aurélien, are there any ways this should not be used, or any considerations we should be making around the ethics or resistance people might have around these types of technologies?
Yes, of course. I think we have to create a good frame of ethics before going too far on solutions with AI. And you were talking about having an artificial intelligence that answer you, and so it could be quite scary, and it really asks questions. So if I talk about artificial intelligence in my company, firstly, we're a big group, so we are not companies that work only on this. But the first step for us was to use it. So in all our organization, every employees use it as a daily basis. And we see a lot of things changing right now, and the way of working, the efficiency. And then we have also seen that we could find a new process of industrialization thanks to that. Things that how we can, for instance, change the way of using this kind of plastic. Maybe there is something existing in the world, and we could find things. And then create some presentation, then to propose it within the company. And then it changed. And we really already starting to use it as a tool of everyday living. So it's not only about product and the way to go to the market. I think we have, and this is the way we do as well, is the way to use it on our daily basis when we work. And I think we will find also a way for the market, but of course it has a lot of consequences on ethics, and we have to ask all the questions on it.
Yeah, but I think also that if we train the AI models in the right way, we can still then make a proposal to the professional carer, say, hey, this is what we see, this is the data that is surrounding it, why we think so it, we propose this action, do you think this is a good idea? So I don't think AI is about automating everything, but it's giving the caretakers, but even the family, the tools to say, hey, we noticed that your mom is not drinking as much as she did over the last few months, because we measure the sound of the tap and we know how much water she uses, so we identified that as that's going down. Let's have a chat with your mom. So I don't think it is about, okay, let's make the choices through AI, but let's make the options through AI. And I think this is where the next steps will be. And right, in time, right, in 5-10 years' time, obviously things will change again. But I think this is where the focus needs to be right now.
Iñaki, do you have anything you'd like to add to that line of thinking?
Yes, well, I'm always thinking that the sector is reluctant about technology and about artificial intelligence by default. So I always say, you know, the health systems are already using technology and artificial intelligence, and we are seeing every day, watching it on TV or reading the newspapers, great innovations that are bringing, and they are dealing with health. And it's sensitive data, maybe even more than in the social, let's say, care. So if they are embracing the technology, why not? Maybe because we don't want to change the way we are doing things. Maybe we need to change our minds. I don't know. But technology and the fear about technology is a stopper sometimes that in other sectors with really sensitive data has already disappeared. So maybe it's also about changing the minds.
So building on that, what do you feel, it sounds like we can deploy this technology now and it can continue to grow, but what are the barriers to adoption? What is keeping this out of most homes and most care facilities? Is it cost? Is it personal resistance? Is it a lack of understanding?
I think a lot has to do with also interoperability, right? So if you want to deploy a range of sensors or communication device like ourselves, it needs to work with other infrastructures. Yeah. So we'd like to work with you guys. We'd like to work with you. Yes, share data, be something as part of your system. So then we can really accelerate the deployment of technology at home. It's super hard to do everything yourself. And we really see that, okay, we're very good at a certain part, and then we would like to partner up with the other specialists in the market to do their part. So I think working together as an industry and taking off the shackles, say, okay, we are a closed system, but really open it up. I think this is really part of the essentials of how we need to move forward. And we see this happening now in the industry. There's more talk, okay, can't we just share data? I will give you this data, you return me a request for the family or whatsoever. So it's there, but I think we can accelerate that.
Iñaki, do you see any other barriers?
Well, I see that digital transformation means that transformation. So you cannot transform digitally your company, your business, if you don't transform your processes. So we also work a lot in industry in the past, and it is the same. You need to change the way you are doing things now with technology. That's digital transformation. And it's difficult because, you know, we are reluctant to change as human, this behavior. So and another problem is that you just see technology and you say, I want to take this technology to use in my organization. Maybe I like that device. Okay, let's buy it. But maybe it's not accurate for your users or your stakeholders. So you need a strategy. And I always say, you need, let's call it consultancy, let's call it using Sherpas, I don't know. But you need someone to build the strategy with you and to say, we need to do this. These are our end users. These are the stakeholders. This is the organization. We want to create a new service, whatever. But you need to define the strategy before. And then let's start applying technology, you know, lean startup mode, whatever, step by step, test, you know, not too much money in any test. But test it and start step by step. That's the way to enter in the digital transformation, not just buying technology as if you go to the groceries and you say, I like 1 kilo of this and half a kilo of that.
You had mentioned before, Iñaki, don't buy a bunch of hardware and devices and then try to find a solution that fits. Try to design the solution that fits for your clients, and then follow on to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would you like to add to that, Aya?
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, there is no real barrier. We have the technology, we have the platforms, we have interoperability more or less, and I think it's more about the use cases that we have to test, and we have ideas and we have to propose to people the things that it could that could help them, and find a good way to the market. And I think we are starting there, and we see a lot of things happening, and I think the market will completely change in the year to come. And yeah.
I agree with that, and going on Ignacio's point as well. In order for a solution to be successful, you need to really take them by the hand and really implement it inside the organization, get the whole staff on board. It's not just by putting a product there with the client. Everybody needs to embrace what you're doing, because change is hard for the client, but also for the staffing, right? The nursing staff is not inherently interested in new technology. They are inherently interested to care. And if you can help them care remotely, save time on stuff that is nothing to do with care, then they will also embrace it, and then it will start to run. So our biggest successes are with those organizations that really embraced it completely, where the family is on board, and then we see massive improvements.
So I know we were talking about current state, but if in fact we do what you're suggesting, and we put these devices in place and we train teams, how do you see a care team? You can talk about in-home care, you can talk about institutional care. How do you see a care team functioning in 5 years or 10 years from now? How would it be different than it is today?
I think the base care will remain, a lot of things will remain the same. I think what will change is the incidental care will decrease, so unplanned care, because we now have predictive modeling and we know what's going on. I think there will be a lot more remote care possible, simple stuff like insulin or usage or medicine management or that type of stuff will change. Carers that may not be as mobile anymore, they may work from home, through video be able to still work with all their clients. So I think we'll be able to get staff more involved even if they can't be as mobile as they are. So I think there'll be a lot of optimization, but at the end of the day, the basic care will always need to be the basic care.
Iñaki, what do you see?
Well, I think that yes, technology is going to bring remote care for the houses. Yes, also it's going to empower the informal and the families, caregivers to do their job really, really better. And again, I think that we should start talking about other things that we don't like. You think about the future. I think that we have one future in Japan, for example. They have our problem, even bigger than ours. They don't have the talent, and they have decided to start using robots. So maybe in 10 years, we're going to have robots in institutions making some tasks, and even in some houses. Why not? I think that's going to be part of the future. We like it, no, it's the same, but it's going to come, I'm sure.
Aurélien?
Yeah, I do agree, and I think maybe we have to reinvent the social links that we could have, and of course having some task giving to maybe robots, but not only. I think we have to think about the human links and what bring us together, and yeah, I think it's technology is not something that will endanger human links. It just make the links different, and we have to think it differently, I think.
Systems level change is hard, and oftentimes always money is required. How would you go about convincing a government or an organization that this is the financial way of the future, financially viable way of the future?
That's a good question. We actually are spending quite a bit of time and effort into proving how much time and money we can save by using technology to provide remote care and letting people live longer at home. I wish governments and institutions would take a little bit more of a leap of faith and say, you know what, let's deploy this en masse in a certain sector and then look at all the results and then start tweaking it, because we need to work very hard to prove something and then maybe deploy it. So we see some changes now, particularly in the Netherlands with in regulations. So some steps forward, but I think there are some room for improvement there, because we know we're on to a tsunami of possible care issues, and we know that this group of people will probably have to fix it. So give us a little bit more leeway, make it easier for us to deploy.
Iñaki, thoughts?
Well, right now I'm reading a book by Andrew Grove, which was the CEO of Intel. He wrote many Bibles, and the one I'm reading now is Only the Paranoid Survive. And he talks about inflection points. So a specific point in which everything changes, and if you are not ready for the change, then comes the disaster. So I think that we are in terms of care, we are in the inflection point, and we need to put the care in the debate, in the social debate, and let's be honest about it, and let's say that if we don't change the things and the way we are doing the things, it's not going to work in the future. So that's the first part. And the second part is talk about the success stories and saying numbers and saying, you know, how much you're going to be saving up, how much are you going to be scaling up with this, with proven solutions in the market. That's the second part. But the first part is we need to do something, because just avoiding the problem is not going to disappear.
Aurélien, do you have thoughts to share on this?
I think, what is ahead is, for me, very exciting, I would say. So, yeah, I would only say that.
I wonder if there's anything we haven't discussed today that I haven't touched on that you feel is really important to cover regarding the use of AI or the use of remote monitoring.
Well, I think it goes back to really where we started is, are we really ready to have family be part of our care? Yeah, and this is a social discussion that we all need to have. And are we going to be able to tell the honest story that, yes, you will be part of the care of your parents. You can't buy a subscription and then just do what you need to do. Yeah, you will have to start doing part of the care. And I think if we have that honest discussion, have enough support from this group of people here in tech to enable those people, enable professional caregivers, start working on AI, then we have a path forward. But I think it starts and ends with enabling the social care factor.
So Jill, you feel that AI will allow families to be more involved, but differently involved in care. Is that your position?
100%, yeah, for sure.
So it's not a hands-off thing, it's not set and forget.
No. And I don't think it's what people really want. It's tough to start caring for your own parent, but I think it also gives a lot of reward. And if we turn it around from being something negative in something valuable, I think we can start turning the tide.
Well, I'm cheating a little bit because we had a prep call, and I'm going to invite Iñaki to provide his counter view to what Jill has just said. Go ahead, Iñaki.
No, I always say that artificial intelligence and technology are going to become caregivers, super caregivers. So I think that's the tool to get it. So with that, maybe informal caregivers or relatives may give quality care to their loved ones. I think that's important. And if we don't do that, only the people with money are going to have good care. So I think that as a society, we need to think about democratic care, and the technology is a tool to get it.
Oh, yeah?
I would say that, of course, there is a big role of the family to be there around their relatives and help them. But also sometimes they are not professional, and we have to cope with some very difficult moment. And it's very important also as family helpers to be surrounded by professionals, and these professionals, I think our role as an industrial and connected solution is to help them being the best professionals they can. And if it goes with IA and yeah, of course we have to be there, because we will need always people there, and at least for the social link, but also because sometimes we have to cope with very difficult situation, and only professional can be do that.
As we get close to the end of our time today, I wonder if there is one culminating thought or call to action or challenge that you would pose to delegates here today regarding connected care, or even just something to research or consider further.
What is very exciting right now on the French market, I would say, is really that we see a porosity between the social care and the cure. And what is very exciting is where we are going, and we actually don't know exactly where it will go, but we know that it will go, and very soon. And we are working on a lot of different use cases, and this is a very exciting moment for me. And yeah. And this moment here is also a very good occasion to meet professionals and things together on solution, because as you mentioned, I think we cannot do everything on our own. We have to build partnership and build solution, because this is the reality of connected product, is meaning connection between different solutions. So yeah.
Iñaki, a final thought to leave our delegates with?
Yes, well, it's nice to be. There's a good atmosphere here. People loving innovation. You can feel it. It's nice. We are not in France for the moment, so hello. We are looking for partners. We are looking for people to connect. But above all, my word would be co-creation. So we need to connect the needs and the technology and co-create the solution, not just buying established solutions. The key to the success is the co-creation, in my opinion.
And Joe?
No, very nice, and I think it actually is the first step is that when we co-create, let's interconnect. And I think there's a lot of interconnection here in this hall. I come to different countries, and I'm really positively surprised about the openness to discuss how can we work together. What do you do best? What do I do best? Can we partner up? And so I think taking the thought away is let's connect, let's partner, and get the best of breed solution to the various use cases that are out there.
Excellent. Well, thank you both. Thank you for the attention of the audience. I know it's challenging with those talking behind. Thank you to all the panelists today, and I hope this has given you more to consider about connected care and the future of care as it relates to connected care. Thank you.
Welcome.
Baby.